Live from J David Ramsey Stadium on the campus of Bear River High School. Touchdown Productions, celebrating 20 years of local high school sports excellence, is proud to present Bear River Bruin football. Tonight, as the PVL season continues, your Bear River Bruins take on the Foothill Mustangs. It's week 2 of the 2016 PVL season, and all the action starts right here, right now. It's your 20th anniversary Noreal Game of the Week. The Bear River Bruins come home tonight for week 2 of the 2016 season and find themselves in an early must-win situation against these very fine Foothill Mustangs under a rainy and stormy night here in the foothills. Good evening, football fans, wherever you are across our worldwide network. This is Marty Mortensen, the voice of Bear River football. Joining me tonight is our producer, director, and camera operator, Gilbert M. Dominguez. The Bruins are coming off an opening game loss to Lincoln, falling to 0-1 in the PVL, and once again must play from behind if they are to make a run in the PVL and into the playoffs, which are only a few weeks away. Bear River was only able to put up 6 points in the first quarter last week and were shut out in the second and third quarters, came back with a 27-14 loss to the Lincoln Zebras. That loss, combined with wins by Placer and Center, have given the 3 winners the early edge on the race for the league title. And tonight, Center plays Placer while Lincoln plays up in Colfax, and any team that goes 0-2 this early in the season is most likely out of contention for any postseason play. Next week, the Bruins travel to Colfax, then travel on to Placer, so this becomes a must-win game here tonight at Bear River to have any chance at all of making those 2 games meaningful in the coming weeks. So we'll have another good one for you tonight, and with both teams on the field, we'll step aside, and on the other side of the break, we'll take our walk around the foothills and get caught up on all the football standings. You're watching exclusive coverage of Bear River Bruin football on the 20th anniversary season of the Noreal Game of the Week at touchdownproductions.com.
B&C True Value Home and Garden Center is proud to present Dollar Days. It's 1 week of savings for the entire family. The monthly circular is always available when you enter the store and in the Union newspaper each week. Serving Nevada County for 76 years, it's B&C True Value Home and Garden Center, where behind every project is a true value.
Welcome back to J David Ramsey Stadium on the campus of Bear River High School on a muddy and soggy field for the first time in a couple of years. Good rainstorm here tonight and throughout the day, and much needed rain is falling, but boy, this field has taken a beating after the Bear River Bruins won their opening game here tonight. So let's take a look at the Pioneer Valley League football standings. You can see that Lincoln, Placer, and Center both start out league play at 1-0, and followed by Bear River football and Foothill and Colfax at 0-1. And so it looks like it's going to be a very tight league, and Bear River's going to have to really step up with a win here tonight and play well next couple of weeks, as they're going to be short a couple of players, starting players here tonight, with Austin Bays and Colton Wood, and we also have out Bryn Tyler. So those are 3 key players, but the juniors will have to step up here in this Pioneer Valley League. Let's take a walk now through the foothills and the Sierra Foothill League standings. There's Folsom up at 3-0 and 6-1 overall in league play. Oak Ridge coming in at 2-0 and Del Oro at 2-1, with great records for both of those teams overall in the preseason and now into the league play. Rockland comes in at 1-1, Wood Creek at 1-2, Granite Bay, which is surprisingly doesn't seem to be that strong this year, with a 1-5 record. They dominated in the last few years. And Nevada Union sitting at 0-3, looking for their first victory, but going up against Folsom is going to be a tough assignment. They come in with a 2-5 record. So Sierra Foothill League is tough as usual every year. And so it looks like Folsom, Oak Ridge, and Del Oro are going to be the strong teams in the Sierra Foothill League. All right, I'd like to remind you that you're watching exclusive coverage of the Bear River Bruins football on the 20th anniversary season of the NorCal Game of the Week at touchdownproductions.com. We'll be right back.
Big A Root Beer Drive-In is an old-fashioned fun place to eat. Their old-fashioned burgers are made from steak trimmings, and the gourmet burgers feature Wagyu beef. The milkshakes are hand-blended with real ice cream, and for 50 years, they've made their own root beer, served in frosty mugs. The menu is available whether you're inside, on the patio, using the car hops, or taking it home. Experience the fun of the 1950s at Big A's Root Beer Drive-In.
Welcome back to J David Ramsey Stadium here on a rainy and stormy night as the field is a little tore up from the JV game. However, welcoming back to help out with this game is Austin Rounsaville. And Austin, what do you think so far of this weather and and what it's done to the field?
Glad to be back here, Marty. Now, this is obviously very wet conditions here. That's going to play heavily into the play style of both these teams.
Yeah, so Bear River elected to, they won the toss, elected to kick off, put the Foothill Mustangs on offense right away. Hope they can hold them as Landon Clark is teeing up the ball and back to receive. It's going to be tough with these white uniforms with orange letters. We've got number 8 and number 4. That is Lewis, number 4, and number 8 is Terrence Dyer. So the Bruins will line up on the 35-yard line. Landon Clark just about ready to kick the ball, and we're underway here on a rainy night. And here's the kickoff. It's going to be taken about the 10-yard line. And coming up and sweeping around the left side, but then being stopped in there on a nice tackle before he could get to the outside. I didn't see who made that tackle. It looked like number, is it that 16 or 10?
Well, either way, Foothill isn't going to have that good of a field position to start off. And in rainy conditions such as this, field position is even more important than usual.
So here they come. We'll set the offense here as soon as we can dial in on this. Foothill comes in at 1-5, and it's a handoff right up the middle. It goes nowhere, being brought down by the entire front line of the Bruins. Juniors are going to have to step up tonight as Austin Bays, the linebacker for the Bruins, is out with a shoulder injury. He'll be hopefully back next week.
Yeah, best wishes for him to come back as soon as possible.
So with a loss of 1, and there's a keeper rolling out and comes around the left side, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds, but that's good enough for a first down. That is Robertson, the quarterback. He plays safety, offensive linebacker, and quarterback, so he's kind of a one-man show here.
He can sort of do it all, Marty.
Yep. So that's a first down with an 11-yard gain on that play. He kind of goes to the sideline, gets the play from the coaches. Got one back in the backfield for the Mustangs, and now there's a handoff trying to do a sweep over the. Now it's going to be a pass, and he's wide open, and boy, that is going to go for a touchdown. They did that to us last year, and sure enough, they start out with a big pass play, and that looked like Baggett that was beat on that, came up with a run, and then was, what a play that was.
Yeah, Bear River secondary just completely bought it that was just going to be a simple run to the left. Didn't expect the pass out.
It was a beautiful pass. Boy, right away, Foothill scores, and now they come in for their extra point, and there's spread out all over the field here.
Very odd setup indeed.
They could either go for two, now they'll shift back in and try to kick it for the extra point. So that silenced the small crowd that's here tonight. Very quickly they score with 10:40 left to go in this first quarter. As the kick is up, and it looks like it is no good.
I don't know if that was just bad footing or bad ball placement. Either way, muggy conditions already coming into play.
All right, with timeout on the field, we'll remind you that you're watching exclusive coverage of Bear River Bruin football on the 20th anniversary season of the Noreal Game of the Week at touchdownproductions.com.
With nearly 30 years of proudly serving our community, Auburn Toyota is expanding to offer more new Toyota inventory than ever before. Chances are we have the exact Toyota model you want, ready for you to drive home today. With many years of combined sales experience and hundreds of new Toyota cars, trucks, 4x4s, and SUVs, now is the perfect time to buy at Auburn Toyota. For generations, Foothill Toyota buyers buy from Auburn Toyota, which is why we like to say Auburn Toyota is the place where the customers come back.
Well, it's going to be kicking off here for the Foothill Mustangs as they have stunned this crowd and also stunned the varsity team here, as this was a pass of almost 65 yards for that touchdown. Here's the kickoff. It's going to be a low kick, and it's going to maybe going out of bounds, and it does. That'll ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a penalty flag thrown, and they'll either bring it out to the 35 or they'll make them kick it again. We'll see what Bear River elects to do.
It was very smart of Foothill to set the tone of this game very early on, getting that that very smart pass play to move them to a 7-0 lead.
Well, it sure fooled me, because I thought for sure that they were going to do that sweep play.
Everyone, yes,
yep.
I agree. Everyone on the Bear River defense was thinking run.
Well, they'll re-kick. They'll move it back 5 yards. Going to go the same way again, and it's going to be picked up on the 20-yard line. And got some room to run, and up to the about the 33-yard line. It's hard to differentiate the numbers here tonight.
Yeah, there was blocking there. He just wasn't fast enough to break that first tackle on the corner.
That looks like Cundy was the picked that ball up. Calder Cundy, he's a sophomore, 6 foot 153. So now Bear River comes out on offense. Coming in with the play is Bradley Joba, calling out the signals in the backfield. There's a handoff over the left side. Got some blocking. Cuts it up. Now he goes on up to about the 50-yard line. Good run in there by, that is Stephen Taylor. He was our player of the game a couple of weeks ago, and once again on that sweep. I don't know if there's a penalty flag or what. There's a holding. So that'll take him back 15 or 10 yards. Back to the 35-yard line.
Holding against the Bruins.
That's unfortunate, really, because it was a good play call.
It was.
The penalty that was going to be marked off from the spot of a foul. So it'll end up being about a 2-yard gain and repeat first down. So first down and 8.
First down and 8 now for the Bruins. A high snap. Trying to sweep that left side, and now he cuts up into the middle. Still on his feet, still going. Got a first down. And let's see who the ball carrier was. That was also Taylor again, number 22.
Looked almost exactly like the play before.
Except this time, instead of breaking to the outside, he cut back in as they had him cut off to a certain extent.
Taking advantage of that timid defense.
So here come the Bruins, 1st and 10 on their own 48-yard line. Snap around the right side. That is Turner. Still got running room, and he keeps on going for another 13 yards. All the way down to the 36-yard line of the Mustangs. So the running game is definitely on track here tonight.
It's working for him right now. Similar setup of the play, just reverse it.
So here come the Bruins. 1st and 10. Handoff around the left side again. Still got room. He's going to be brought down from behind, but not after he gains some big yardage. Zimmer, the ball carrier.
They might go back to that play several times before this game is over.
I think so.
It's working for them. They haven't stopped it yet.
Yeah, the defense of Foothill has not been able to get the ends out to turn that up at all here. So here come the Bruins. Now look, handoff, right side, got some blockers in front of him. And a Bruin first down.
You can tell that the runner, Stephen Taylor, is going to be in for a good night tonight.
Picked up about 6 yards on the play.
Joba to the sideline to get the play from
Bruins line up 1st and 10.
Handoff again, another sweep, and he turns around the corner and maybe picks up a couple. So that'll bring up 2nd down and a long 9 on the play. They strung it out that time.
Yeah, not quite in the red zone just yet.
Bear River continues to grind it out on the ground. There's a snap again to Taylor. He cuts it up this time, and he's going to only get a couple of yards at the most.
Yeah, he tried to cut, but there was just nowhere for him to go.
56, Robert Mello in there.
They're starting now to close that lane off to the towards the sideline. So that'll bring up 3rd down and about 8.5. They may have to put it in the air. They're probably in 4-down territory here. Joba barks out the signals, looking to pass. And he overthrows. He had him wide open.
Unfortunate. That was just a bad pass.
That was intended for Turner. He was wide open for the 1st down and a possible touchdown, but was kind of a wobbler, and it slipped out of his hand and went over about 4 feet over the head of Turner.
Even if you argue that, maybe his grip slipped or whatever, wet ball or whatever, there's still no excuse when he's wide open like that. It wasn't even that far a pass.
So here comes its 4th down and about 9. Let's see what happens on this play. Looking to pass. And he's got him wide open this time, and he drops the ball. That was intended for Cundy.
There is a penalty flag on the ground.
Penalty. Let's see what the penalty is.
Flag down. Check the penalty.
If it's that deep, it might have been pass interference. That's an automatic. That should give them a 1st down.
Yeah, defensive interference. I think that's an automatic 1st down.
Well, they don't have automatic 1st downs anymore. They'll step off the 10 yards and from the line of scrimmage, and that should give them a 1st down. But I fell into that trap in a couple of games before. It's not like the pros of the college where they give you automatic 1st down. But they do. They have 1st and not quite goal, so out on about the 11-yard line, and there's a handoff again. He's got some following his blockers. Goes on down. That's down to the 6-yard line on that nice run. That's Turner over behind Flores and also Tantum, opening up the big holes. So Bear River catches a break, and now they maybe can capitalize on it and get a 1st down still. 2 backs in the backfield behind Joba. Handoff. That is Cunningham, and he doesn't get maybe a 2 yards on that handoff. Maybe he just got back to the line of scrimmage.
Anthony James in on that tackle. Third down for the Bruins, 4 to go.
So it looks like the Foothill defense is stiffening up here. Let's see what Bear River can do about it. Handoff. Oh, there's a hole going over the left side. Cutting it back up and almost into the end zone. He could be short of the first down. That is Turner.
That was close, though, but good on the Foothill corners to stick to their assignments.
So now it's 4th and 1. This is the time they would need Austin Bays in there, who's on the sideline tonight, because he's usually 4 yards in a cloud of dust every time he gets the ball handed off to him.
Yeah, I mean, they must have they must have a lot of faith either in their rushing game or not a lot of faith in their kicking team, whatever that is.
Well, they want to at least. I didn't see what happened. I got it. Touchdown Bruins. Wow, I was really off on that handoff. That might have been Cunningham. Let's see who they said it was.
Yeah, we might have to check that again.
Yeah, I did not see who got the handoff. Maybe they'll tell us. Well, that was Peyton Turner, the ball carrier. Now they're in to kick. The extra point is Shane Flores. It kicks down and up, and that looks like it's good. So Shane Flores, in practice the other day, he started kicking the ball, and he's really they've been having trouble with the extra points with Clark. But that is Bear River comes right back and score, take advantage of the penalty, and we'd like to remind you that you're watching exclusive coverage of Bear River Bruin football on the 20th anniversary season of the NorCal Game of the Week at touchdownproductions.com. Welcome back to the kickoff here with 5:52 left to go in the first quarter. Bear River goes up on that long drive with a penalty that helped them out. This Marty Mortensen along with Austin Rounsaville, and we're ready for the kickoff. Clark kicks it fairly deep. It's going to be taken to the 15-yard line and coming up the middle. And there's a penalty. That's going to be called back. Flag was thrown at about the 31-yard line. It looks like a ball in the block in the back.
A touchdown on both sides, but due to
they're waving it off. No flag on that. I thought I saw a block in the back, but good run back by the Mustangs. That ball will be spotted at the 40-yard line. Their own 40, and they'll have it 1st and 10. So coming up over center is Robertson. And handoff right up the middle. That goes to Brown, and he stopped for maybe and let's see, did Bear River get it? Bear River got it. A fumble. Brown, the ball carrier. I didn't see that. Did you? I didn't see it in that big pile.
I don't know how that happened. Maybe it just slipped out. They're playing in a very, very muddy part of the field there.
And I tell you, that was quite a recovery. And the Bruins are in great field position on the Foothills Mustangs 40-yard line.
Very interesting turn of events in just the last 2 minutes.
No kidding. We've got 5:33 left to go here in this first quarter. Here come the Bruins with another chance to put some more points on the board. And there's a handoff, left side, cutting it to the outside, still on his feet. Picks up the first down. And that's Zimmer, the ball carrier. Josh Zimmer, number 5 for the Bruins, a junior.
First down Bruins to the 25-yard line. That is a 16-yard pickup.
16-yard pickup takes the ball down to the 25-yard line of the Mustangs. Bear River up quickly. Handoff around the right side again, breaks it. Gets a block, but then he maybe picks up a couple. That was Turner, the ball carrier.
Number 50, Eduardo Miranda on the tackle.
Cundy comes into the ball game along with Solomon Branch.
That'll be a 2nd down and 7 coming up.
And this may be a pass play here. Solomon Branch out all the way to the left. And he hands it off, and that is Taylor. Takes it on down, close to another first down. Let's see, they're the Mustangs are pointing at somebody, but they're saying first down. The Mustangs aren't very happy about something. Talking to the referee, said I was held. I think that is number 2. That is Lozano. He's a senior, and he's saying, hey, somebody held me. Coming up to the line of scrimmage now, shotgun formation is Jova. There's a handoff right up the middle, but no place to go. The ball carrier is Zimmer, and he might be thrown for a loss. Well, the Mustangs have got some pretty big ball players up on the up on the front line, so I don't think they're going to be going up the middle very much. I think that the outside is going to be the place to go, like they have been doing. 44 is a 270-pound lineman, so there's a out to the outside, cuts it back in. That is the ball carrier is Turner. He gets down close to the first down again. I was told that the Bruins have a ball warmer, propane ball warmer that they're warming the balls up between plays.
They do they?
Yeah.
That must be nice.
Put my hands in there. All right, here come the Bruins. They've got 1 yard to go on 3rd down. There's a handoff again, cutting to the outside, still going, but then he's going to be brought down for a loss. That, once again, is Turner. So that'll bring up 4th down. So Cundy and Solomon come into the ball game here. Also, so the Bruins have got about 4th down and 5. Let's see if they can capitalize here.
Zimmer's been doing work here early here this first quarter.
3 receivers out to the right, and now there's going to be a timeout called. So with timeout on the field, we'd like to remind you you're watching exclusive coverage of Bear River football on the 20th anniversary season of NorCal Game of the Week at touchdownproductions.com.
The Dive is the newest family-friendly restaurant in Lake of the Pines. Their entire menu of burgers, salads, and sandwiches are available for dining in or to take home. Featuring a selection of beer and wines, they also offer catering services for your next event with their new food truck, Dive on the Go. It's The Dive in Lake of the Pines on Comby Road and dineatthedive.com.
Welcome back. Bear River has got 4th down and about just a little over 5 yards to go for a first down. They're threatening. They've got to get down just across the 5-yard line, it looks like, and see what kind of play they've called after that timeout. So this could be a big play right here.
This is when the Bear River offense is most dangerous. They could call anything right now.
They got 3 receivers out to the right. Rolling on the direct snap, and they got it's going to be intercepted. Throwing it right into the hands of the safety. Now they've got another flag down. That was Joba who threw that pass, and it just wasn't high enough as the defender came up and took it away from the receiver. So Mustangs hold.
Pass game obviously not working very well for Bear River.
Well, they've been struggling all year. Let's see what they had here. It was against the Mustangs. Oh, a hit to the head, it looks like. They're going to step it off. They're going to bring it all the way on back to about the 5-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. So Foothill comes up with a big defensive play.
Foothill will take over. It'll be 1st down and 10. They're inside their 10-yard line.
Looks like the rain has stopped as the last set of showers has come through the area, but the field is still a little sloppy. So here come the Mustangs. It's a handoff around the left side and still turning up the corner. That is number 5, Phillip Brown. He's the runner that fumbled the last time he carried the ball. They hand it right back to him, and he picks up about 5 yards, maybe 6 yards he got on that play.
Also looks like he ran into one of the metal dividers on the sideline.
Oh, I saw that on the ground now. Good spot for it.
They might want to move that a little further back.
So it'll be 2nd down and about 5 to go. Little mix up in the backfield, but they hand it off to the first man through, and it goes nowhere. Coming up and making that stop in there, it looked like on that tackle was Wooner. We have a football player down, and looks like one of the linemen. Can't see his number. He's all right, with timeout on the field right now with an injured player. We'd like to remind you once again that you're watching exclusive coverage of Bear River Bruin football on the 20th anniversary season of the NorCal Game of the Week at touchdownproductions.com.
Hey, hon, remember the guys are coming over later to watch the game.
Make a play for winning trays from Portisubs. We have the perfect tray for every game and every fan.
Make Portisubs your destination.
Welcome back. As the injured player is taken off the field, that's number 52, Diaz, and looks like he's favoring that an ankle, it looks like. He's carried off the field, so that'll bring up 3rd down and about 5 yards.
At least the rain has settled down a little bit.
It looks like it has stopped. I just checked the radar a little while ago, and we had that one flow of moisture that came right over the area here, and I think that's it for the rest of this ball game. So here come the Mustangs on 3rd down. We've got 2:05 left to go in this first quarter. Looking for a handoff, but Bear River smothers that right away. And there's a flag down now late that came in. Shane Flores is kind of holding his arm there. Illegal procedure against the. So what would have been a stop.
5-yard penalty against Foothill.
That'll bring him back for now 3rd down and 9.
3rd down.
It was before the handoff, so they'll take it back. Rolling out to his right and looking downfield. He's got a man, and it's going to have a 1st down, wide open, right in the middle. That was to number 44, Possessvia. So what that Pestafia, I guess, is what they call it. Brian Hudson giving me the correct pronunciation of that.
That was a great tackle by whoever brought that guy down.
I didn't see the number. The numbers are hard to get a hold of here. Pratt's in the ball game on the line with Tantum, along with Jimmy Kelly. along the front four there. Oh, handoff that was almost sacked the quarterback for the handoff, but coming up and making a big run, that is Brown again. He picks up some big yardage right there, and that's a first down.
Nice quick decision making by Robinson, the quarterback, to quickly get it to the rusher before he was brought down.
Yeah, the runner, they had a good pass rush by the Bruins. This went for the quarterback, and the handoff went to the running back, and he picks up about 10 yards for a first down. So they're on the move. That penalty they had helped them. Now he's going to run on the left side, and then stepping out of bounds.
He just ate that first tackle and just plowed right
through it. Yeah, exactly. Well, he's number 10. Robertson's a big 195, 6 foot.
Rough and tough.
Yeah, he's they're one of their star players. He has some good stats so far this year. He's rushed for 426 yards, so he's doing quite well. Picks up another first down. It looks. Oh, that's going to step off 15 yards against the Bruins. So they're allowing the Mustangs to move up the field.
Is that unsportsmanlike?
So now the ball down on the 40-yard line of the Bruins now.
Less than a minute left in this first quarter. Mustangs down by 1.
Center over Placer 9-0 first quarter. And Colfax and Lincoln are playing tonight. They're tied at 7 early on. Colfax and Lincoln tied at 7. Come on, Brewers!
There's a handoff. It faked me out, faked the camera out, but then going to the sideline, that looked like number 7, Johnson.
Robertson pitches it to Johnson.
And that play didn't go anywhere, so they lost some yardage on that. Let's see where they spot the ball. They're going to move it back about 4 yards. Nope, take that. Well, there they are.
Got to be careful to leave that ball carrier alone after the play gets called dead.
A loss of 2 on the play will bring a second down and 12.
Second and 12.
And that will end up being the final play.
That'll be the final play of the first quarter. And we've got Bear River on top by a score of 7-6. And with timeout on the field, we'll remind you that you're watching exclusive coverage of Bear River Bruin football on the 20th anniversary season of the NorCal Game of the Week at touchdownproductions.com. We'll be right back.
Your car is one of the most important assets you own. And Reeby's Auto Parts is dedicated to helping you keep it in tip-top condition. Reeby's Auto Parts is a family-owned and operated business since 1956. We have a friendly and knowledgeable staff, and as a Napa Auto Parts dealer, you're sure to find the right part you need from either of our 2 Nevada County locations. You can always count on Reeby's to be there when you need us. It's Reeby's Auto Parts in Nevada City and Grass Valley.
Welcome back to J David Ramsey Stadium, and it's second down and 12 for the Mustangs here on the Bruin 43-yard line. Rolling out, keeping the ball is Robertson, and he gets by one tackler, and he's still down the sideline, still on his feet, still going, and he'll pick up a first down and more. Let's see where he stepped out of bounds. He did pick up the 12, about 13 yards. First down. He just got outside of the defensive end.
He did. We've seen him make that kind of play before this game even.
Placer ended up getting a touchdown, so center leads Placer now 9-6. Center leads Placer 9-6.
All right. First and 10 on the Bruin 38-yard line. Let's see, is it right up the middle? No place to go. They're still fighting amongst themselves out there.
Noble effort, but he just ran straight into the middle of Bear River's entire defense, basically.
A yard and a half gain. Second down.
Second down and about 8. Ball is spotted on the obliterated 35-yard line.
There was one big highlight in that first quarter, that nice trick run by the Mustangs that resulted in a touchdown.
Delay a game more than likely here. That'll set them back 5 yards. I knew that was taking a lot longer than anticipated, I think.
The pace just keeps getting slower and slower
exactly.
as the game goes on.
Well, they got a passing situation now for the Mustangs as Robertson's over center. Looks like there's a lot of delay in that. And coming up with a saving tackle in there, that was Cundy. That could have gone for some big yardage had not Cundy come up there and hit him low and brought him down.
I think that was Omar Johnson.
Johnson, the ball carrier. Third down and about 8 yards.
Mustangs line up with just one receiver out.
And here comes Tandem, put pressure on him. Good hustle in there by Ryan Tandem as he came up and put the pressure on the quarterback. So that brings up 4th down. They should change that to 4th. They do over on the sideline. These numbers are getting harder and harder to read here.
Yeah, that mud is interfering with those white jerseys just terribly.
All right, here comes fourth down. And going back to pass, looking, big rush. Pass is thrown out into the flat, and coming up and making that stop. That looked like number 50 for Shane Flores made that stop, I believe.
And I don't know if you could see that before the snap, but the quarterback, Vernon Robinson, you could see him wiping mud off of his hand, off of his throwing hand. So still ability to overcome that and make a good throw.
Good defense in there by the Bruins as we've got 10-10 left to go in this first half. So the Bruins come up to the ball. They'll have it on their own 35-yard line. Let's see if they can put something together now as they were stopped the last couple of times they had the ball. There's a handoff, trying to do a sweep. Coming up, getting the block, steps inside, but then, boy, no place to go. He got a couple of yards there is all.
You feel like he might have been able to break loose there if there was only one or maybe even two defenders, but there was just too many people to block there.
Exactly. So the uniforms are getting really dirty here. We'll do the best we can.
Now that can either be an advantage or a burden to some players. Some people, some guys like to
low snap delay, and Joba is going to try to run. He's going to get caught though behind the line of scrimmage and run out of bounds for a loss. Let's see what the flag is.
That's the kind of situation where you would want to at least have one receiver out there just to sort of dump it out, see if you can.
That was a low snap, and Joba couldn't do anything with it, so try to run it out of bounds, and he did. Let's see what they're going to say here. Is
ball boy carries out a fresh new ball.
They'll probably decline the penalty, I imagine, if it was against the Bruins. Holding. No, they're going to accept it. And they're going to decline it, and they're going to. So that'll bring up 3rd down.
It'll be 3rd down.
Looking to pass, and They've got he brought down from behind. Great defensive play in there by number 8. That is Dyer.
He had room to run there.
He
that
did.
was just an unfortunate slip. Might have been pushed by a teammate.
So that'll bring up 4th down, and Clark is going to have to, can't even see Clark's number anymore. He'll be doing the punting.
Yeah, Bruins have to punt in this situation.
Yeah.
They're still so far in their own territory. There's just really nothing else to do here.
And Clark has been having trouble punting in the last couple of games. Let's see if he can get a good one off here. Been punting well in practice, but high snap. Plenty of time. It'll take an end over end, and it's going to take a Bruin bounce all the way down to the 31-yard line. So Clark gets off a good kick, and they'll take over now. The Mustangs will on their own 32-yard line, it looks like. No, let's see. That's where they're spotted at 31.
So who would you say was the better defense so far?
I think so far the Bruins have shown a little bit more. But the last 3 series for the Bruins have been shut down by the Mustangs, so we'll see what happens.
It does seem like defense is going to be the thing that wins the day here.
I think you're right. So here come the Mustangs. Robertson over center, one back in the backfield. Now there's a slip, there's a pitch, and going around the right side, and that's going to be stopped in there nicely by the Bruin defense. That looked like Caden Allberg made that stop.
You get the feeling that there are going to be even more and more slips as this game,
I think so.
Progresses.
Boy, this field was in pristine condition last week, but boy, this rain has really affected it. Rolling out again, being rushed, and he's going to get sacked. And nice play in there by Landon Clark on that tackle. He fought off a block and went in there and sacked him all the way back to the 20-yard line.
That was unbelievable, that sack right there.
The way he fought off that block. Brian Hudson with his 3rd down and Dog Bar Road call. That's about how far they got to go. They've got to come all the way out to their own 42-yard line for a 1st down. But
that is a long way to go.
Yes, it is. So here come the Mustangs. Robertson over center in motion is Brown, and he's looking to, and they do a delayed handoff. He's got some room. He's going to be brought down from behind. Got some big yardage, but he's going to be short by about 8 yards for the 1st down.
It was a very bold tackle there. He just sort of grabbed him from behind and slammed him down.
So that'll bring up about 4th down and 5. That was some big yardage. 4. Well, let's see if they're going to go for it. They act like they are, but now Bear River's going to call a timeout. And with the timeout on the field, I'd like to remind you once again that you're watching exclusive coverage of Bear River Bruin football on the 20th anniversary season of the NorCal Game of the Week at touchdownproductions.com.
The Northridge and Penn Valley is the perfect place to bring your family. Many community organizations and nonprofits use the Northridge for their meeting place because they know the Northridge supports our local schools and helps nonprofits with their fundraising. The Northridge has weekly specials and reservations can be made for lunch or dinner. With 3 locations to serve you in Nevada City, Lake of the Pines, and Penn Valley, you are just a few minutes away from a Northridge restaurant. Online at northridgerestaurant.com.
Welcome back to J David Ramsey Stadium. Marty Mortensen along with Austin Rounsaville as we bring you all this exciting Bear River football with the score 7-6, and it's 4th down. And 4 to go. Let's see if Bear River can hold him. Rolling out, looking to pass. Still running. Now he's going to run it up the sideline. He's going to be stopped short The first thing still going, but he's thrown for a loss. Bear River will take over on downs at about their own 30, about the Mustangs' 35-yard line. Good defensive stand right there for the Bruins.
And I can hardly tell the difference between the two uniforms now.
The numbers are being obliterated from our vantage point here, but if you look at the high-definition camera work, you can see the numbers a little bit better. So Joba comes in with the play, and let's see what they put together here. They've been stopped on their last 3 series, so good snap, handoff, trying to come to the right side, can't do it, caught from behind. And that was Turner, the ball carrier. And there you see Ryan Tantum calling out some important information to the rest of his teammates. He is really involved in this ball game, as he is every week. 2 backs in the backfield, I formation, handoff to the second back through, trying to cut it to the outside. He does. He gets some yardage and goes out of bounds. The ball carrier is Josh Zimmer, the junior, 5'9", 157. He picked up maybe 6 yards on the carry, so that'll bring up 3rd down again.
You'd think at some point either one of these teams would try and sneak a surprise pass in there just to keep the defense off balance.
Well, they did. Mustangs did that surprise pass in that first series, and a 60-yard touchdown play.
Yeah, but that was when they were in the red zone.
Yeah,
I'm talking about like a big open play in the open field.
Oh. There's a handoff again over the right side, turning it upfield, gets down to the 30, close to the first down. Let's see where they spot it. He may get the first down when they mark that ball across the 30-yard line. And taking a look at it, it's going to be short. 4th and 2. Let's see if Bear River can do something. Need some blocking up front here. They got one back in the backfield. Now, he cuts it up. No place to go, but he does spin a couple of extra effort, and he may have gotten close. Let's see where I don't think that's going to make the first down. And they've gone to the well way too many times on that play, I think.
Yeah, but kudos to the Foothill defense. They just saw it coming, try to run it right up the middle, right up the gut.
4:20 left to go in this first half. All these running plays, the clock continues to run. New jersey in the backfield for the Mustangs is Reed, and everybody's wiping their hands on a clean jersey. So here come the Mustang now as Robinson gets back, he rolls out the pass, being rushed, throws it downfield, and almost intercepted and picked off in there. That looked like that was Cundy on the defense, looked like.
You think Reed would be the guy to go to since having like such clean hands and a clean jersey means he'd have a nice strong grip on the ball. He'd probably have a better chance at catching anything right now than any of the other receivers on the Foothill side.
Sean Gillis comes into the game for the Bruins. Back in the back, single back in the backfield, looking to pass again. Now being rushed by Tandem, and he gets blocked, and a little shovel pass is going to go out of bounds. Good pressure in there by Ryan Tandem as he put the pressure on the quarterback, Robertson.
It was good of him to throw it away, but you know, at that point, if you see a hole, even if you're a quarterback, you got to think about running it in this situation.
So 3rd and 10. Garrett Pratt in on that pass rush.
You can't be wasting downs in a game like this.
Nope.
They're all essential.
2 backs in the backfield behind Robertson. He's rolling out again to the right, looking. He's going to be brought down again, and it's a fumble. And let's see if the Bruins pick it up. They might have been. Let's see. Clark on that sack again. That's 2 sacks. But the Bruins, the ball was fumbled after he hit the ground. But good hustle in there by Landon Clark as he ran down the quarterback on that and was able to throw him for a big loss. And it's 4th down now and plenty of yards to go, going back for the Bruins.
Yeah, regardless of possession right now, Bruins are most likely to get the ball back.
Cundy's back to receive the kick. Good snap, big rush, and he gets it away. Cundy comes up, picks it up off the ground, looking for a place to run, and he gets by a couple and gets all the way up to the Mustang 36-yard line on a 9-yard return. Bear River will take it over, 1st and 10 with 3:04 left to go in this first half. And if Bear River can put something together here, they can go into the halftime with a little bit bigger lead.
Yeah, you normally don't see a kick returner fight that hard for just a couple more yards. Usually they just go down once they've been caught.
Yeah, well, he had some sidestepping to do on that slippery field. Well, here come the Bruins. Joba now. Handoff to Turner, right side. Got some blocking, still on his feet. Gets all the way down to the 28-yard line of the Mustangs, close to a 1st down. Let's see if where they spot it.
2 minutes, 50 seconds left. More than enough time to get a score in before halftime.
That'll be about a 7-yard gain on that play. So Turner and the ball carrier. Let's see if he gets it again. He does, cuts it up, gets the 1st down. Was that was also Turner again. Good blocking up front in there by the offensive line. Joba comes to the sideline. He gets the play. So in the ball game now is Cunningham, trying to get some yardage in there. I didn't see who the ball carrier was. It's one of the numbers are just gone. Oh, that was Turner again.
Now you got to be mindful of the clock. Now there's less than 2 minutes left. Haven't made a lot of progress towards the end zone.
Gonna have to throw a pass in here pretty soon, I think. He hasn't completed a pass yet. Now he runs back if he's gonna get sacked, and he throws it away, and they're gonna throw a flag. Yeah, nobody blocked him. They knew a pass was coming. If I knew it, they knew it.
Intentional grounding.
And that was James, the sophomore for Foothill, came in there and put the pressure on the quarterback. So that is going to set the Bruins way back now. Intentional grounding, loss of down.
Yeah, if I'm a ref, that's just the obvious call to make there. Yeah. There wasn't a receiver anywhere near him.
Had no opportunity to pass. All he just ran for his life.
At that point, you just take your sack.
Yeah. So they've got 3rd down and forever here as
now you got to pass. You got to go deep.
They're going to have to. Someone's going to have to block up front. They only have a 3-man line.
It's right before halftime. You got to go for it.
3rd down, long, looking to pass. He's got 3 receivers out. He got over the middle, and incomplete. And I don't know where that pass was going. It was not going to the receiver. Or cut it, made a post pattern out of that. Was Cundy on a post.
I could see what the coach was going for there. Have like a one guy run a streak towards the end zone, another one run a slant toward the sideline. But it was just it didn't. The route running just did not work out that way, and the throw wasn't all that good, to be honest.
So Bear River does not capitalize on that good field position to start that drive. And so it's going to be Clark to punt again. And he kicks for the sideline, and he shanks it right out of bounds. And that didn't go anywhere.
That was the opposite of a successful drive. They went backwards.
So we've got 1:25 left, and now that could give some inspiration there to these Mustangs. The Bear River's going to have to tighten up that defense.
Well,
Mustangs punt. Yeah,
Mustangs have to get some together too, because they're not in that hot of a situation either. They haven't been able to get it going on offense either.
Well, they're a pretty explosive ball club here, and that
Normally.
quarterback with Robertson in there, and some of those good runners. It's a fumble, and let's see, the Bruins didn't pick it up. Let's see, in on that save there that's number 4, Lewis.
You see the ref trying to do his best to clean up that ball after that botched snap.
Second down and 11. 1 minute to go. 1 minute before half.
I don't see a whole lot happening now before
No, I think
halftime.
they're probably just gonna run the clock out, more than likely. They want to take a chance. There's a pitch, the right side, but coming up and just missing that tackle and going out of bounds. That'll stop the clock. Looked like Clark had a chance to make that stop, and he just couldn't get him.
The only play that really worked for them was that like that very first, was it like the first play of the game?
No, it was. I think it was third down and long, and it looked like they were going to do a sweep.
Yeah, that was the only play that
that made any big yardage for them. So now a timeout called by Foothills, and with timeout on the field, your score 7-6 with 40 seconds left to go in this first half. We'd like to remind you that you're watching exclusive coverage of Bear River Bruin football on the 20th anniversary season of the NorCal Game of the Week at touchdownproduction.com.
Thank you, Doug. Saving the whole rodeo.
All right, welcome back to J David Ramsey Stadium. Almost here at halftime with 40 seconds left to go in the first half. The Mustangs have the ball, and the Bruins go in to prevent defense. So let's see. Going out to pass is Robertson, looking, being chased, rolls out to the right, cuts it up the field, got some running room, and is then knocked out of bounds in there after picking up some big yardage.
To the 49-yard line. That is good for a first down, and the clock will stop with a little over 32 seconds to go.
Coming up and making that stop, that was Shane Flores, who's been in on a lot of tackles here tonight.
The defensive tackles on Bear River side need to do a better job of closing out on Robertson, because otherwise he's just going to run down the sideline all day.
Well, here's the man in motion, and he hands it off to number 7, Johnson, and coming up and making that stop. Once again, that is Landon Clark, thrown for a loss, and so now they'll come up quickly to the line of scrimmage with 18 seconds and counting. Well, that was about a 5-yard loss, and now a timeout's called. Got time for one more play.
In such a low-scoring game, field goals are going to play a part, you'd think.
Well, I don't know. With this field and everything else, it's kind of tough. Don't forget to join us next week as the Bear River Bruins go across the Bear River, matter of fact, to Colfax for an exciting PVL contest between the Colfax Falcons and the Bear River Bruins. And so look for that game next week as another crucial PVL contest. Bear River must win here tonight and also beat Colfax next week. So if they want to keep their hopes for a playoff run.
That Colfax match is going to be very exciting to watch. Bear River and Colfax, of course, longtime rivals.
So here come the Falcons. The Falcons are coming next week.
Mustangs.
The Mustangs are coming out now with just 17 seconds left to go here in the half. They'll probably try to complete a big pass here. A couple of fresh jerseys in the ball game here. In motion, fake handoff, inside handoff, big hole coming up the right side, and that should just about do it as the Mustangs do not have any more timeouts. So they're going to try to run more play very quickly as the clock continues to run with 4 seconds. And does he spot the ball? He does, but the clock runs out. And I think that'll do it for the half. So we're at halftime here at J David Ramsey Stadium. Marty Mortensen along with Gilbert Dominguez and Austin Rounsaville as we look at the scoreboard, 7-6. Same score since early in that first quarter, and we'll go to halftime. And we'd like to remind you that you're watching, once again, exclusive coverage of Bear River Bruin football on the 20th anniversary season of the NorCal Game of the Week at touchdownproductions.com.
B&C True Value Home and Garden Center is proud to present Dollar Days. It's 1 week of savings for the entire family. The monthly circular is always available when you enter the store and in the Union newspaper each week. Serving Nevada County for 76 years, it's B&C True Value Home and Garden Center, where behind every project is a true value.
Back here, ready for the second half kickoff. Marty Mortensen along with Austin Rounsaville as we're ready to start this action. It started off quite well in the beginning, for both teams, and after about the first 3 minutes of the game, it settled into a defensive mud bowl struggle here. So Bear River will get the ball back to receive the kickoff is Peyton Turner and Calder Cundy. There's the kick. It's going to go over to Turner. He comes up, gets in the middle, breaks to the outside, gets a block, but then is brought down at the 20-yard line. Nice play in there by number 28 for the Colsey. So Bear River will come out now on their own 20, let's see, the 25-yard line. I guess they'll spot it.
Boy, that groundskeeper is going to have his work cut out for him the next few days.
Oh, boy, no kidding. So here come the Bruins to start this second half. Joba back to receive. He hands the ball off, gets a lead block. He's got some room. And that's Turner, the ball carrier. He's brought down in there by 11. I think that's number 4, but I can't. The numbers are gone. That's Lewis, I believe.
That's probably the most successful rush we'd seen out of them in the last few
drives. that was a big hole over the right tackle. Let's see if they come out here fired up. Joba now in motion. Turner, handoff, left side this time. Gets a lead block, but then is brought down. Maybe a couple-yard gain is all at the most.
The rain has died down, but we're starting to notice the wind has picked up.
The wind definitely has picked up, and it's getting a little chilly out here in the elements. So here come the Bruins. Second down and about 7. There's a handoff, trying to go over the left side, but then he's going to get stopped. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. I can't see his number on the back. That looks like number 8. That is Dyer. So that brings up third down and 6.
To the announcer's booth, please. Haley Jurgensen to the announcer's booth.
Number 66, Anthony Meggia with that good tackle.
And that goes nowhere. The handoff went to Zimmer and had no blocking in front of him. They're going to be forced to kick. So once again, the Mustangs, well, it's going to be 4th and short. I don't know if they're going to go for it or not. There's a face mask. So that's going to be a big break. The Bruins capitalized on that same type of call earlier when they had a 4th down and about 4 and didn't make it. But then there was a penalty call against the Mustangs, and it gave the Bruins a first down, and they went in and scored. So let's see they can capitalize on this break. The ball goes out to the Mustang 48-yard line. The 44-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 Bruins. 2 backs in the backfield along with Joe, but there's a handoff again. Left side follows his blockers. Got some blockers. He's going to come up with a gain of about 9 yards, it looks like. That looked like it was Turner again. Turner's been the workhorse here tonight.
Yeah, if I had to use 3 words to describe this game so far, it's been mud, rain, and running.
So coming off the field, that is Gillis. High snap and a mix-up in the backfield, and that goes nowhere. And it looked like he may have fumbled, and we'll see if he. And it is a fumble. They had a mix-up in the backfield, and the Foothill recovers it. Wow. It was a high snap, and the Joba ran into the runner, and the ball was knocked away. So once again, Foothill holds the Bruins, and now they'll take over 1st and 10 on their own 42-yard line. Robertson over center, and he hands it off. No, he keeps it, and he's going to get tackled down. And coming in and making that tackle, that looked like number 53, I believe. Travis Carpenter, if that's, I can't tell on the numbers. It's too bad with all this mud.
You ever hear the expression, possession is 90% of the law?
Yeah, well.
That pretty much defines that fumble there. There was a huge pileup, but hey, one guy ended up with the ball in his hands.
All right, so now it's 2nd and 16. There's a handoff over the right side. Got some running room, turns it upfield, and he's going to get some big yardage. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and possibly about 4 yards, it looks like. Big run as he turned it upfield.
About 3rd down and 4.
So there's a fumble, and let's see who got it. No, Bear River could not come up with it. That is recovered in there by one of the big linemen.
Covered by Foothill, the 4th down.
Unbelievable. It feels like there's been more fumbles this game than completed receptions.
Well, they've played all season since August in sunshine and warm weather, and now they have a first rainstorm that comes up and soggy field, and we've got some tough ball handling out there. So it's 4th down. They're going to go for it. Now a timeout is called as Foothill decides to talk it over. So with timeout on the field with 7:19 left to go in this 3rd quarter, it's the Bruins 7 and the Mustangs 6. And we'll be like to remind you that you're watching exclusive coverage of Bear River Bruin football on the 20th anniversary season of the NorCal Game of the Week at TouchdownProductions.com.
Big A Root Beer Drive-In is an old-fashioned fun place to eat. Their old-fashioned burgers are made from steak trimmings, and the gourmet burgers feature Wagyu beef. The milkshakes are hand-blended with real ice cream, and for 50 years, they've made their own root beer, served in frosty mugs. The menu is available whether you're inside, on the patio, using the car hops, or taking it home. Experience the fun of the 1950s at Big A's Root Beer Drive-In.
Well, we're back, and both Austin and I have got to come up with a player of the game for Bear River tonight, and the Bill Slade and Sons player of the game for this season, for this game. Well, let's see, it's 4th down, and it's going to be a rollout, and he's going to get sacked for a big loss and pulled down in there. The ball is fumbled, but Bear River will take over on the 40-yard line of the Foothill Mustangs. That may be the break they need. What do you think, Austin?
Yeah, player of the game. I think we just gotta. We should just give it to the entire Bear River defense.
Yeah, well, that's hard to do with only one trophy. But the Bill Slayton Sons Player of the Game award, we'll be thinking about that the rest of the game. But right now, it looks like a defensive player tonight for me, as Bear River has come up big so far, but not much on the offense. There's a good snap. There's a handoff to Turner, cuts it up, and he gets about 5 yards, it looks like. He's trying to make his cuts as he's trying to sweep to the outside. Then he turns it up, and he gets tackled from behind. He's got plenty of running room with some blockers out in front, but he's just unable to get by being dragged down from behind trying to make his cut. So here come the Bruins. Joba. Hand off to Turner, left side, and he's going to come up with maybe 3 yards.
All Bear River really needs to pull away with this game is just get one long string of first downs.
They tried yesterday in practice several screen passes, but I haven't seen anything like that. Joba hasn't completed a pass yet tonight, so it's 3rd down and about 5. And there's a handoff and trying to cut it up. He does. He gets the first down and more. Still on his feet. It's going to take 6 guys to bring him down. That is Zimmer.
Yeah,
Josh Zimmer.
It doesn't have to be anything special or anything. It doesn't need to be a huge gain of yards. Just simple run plays like that is going to get them into the end zone.
And now it's hurry-up offense here, and a sweep to the outside. Got a block and then cuts it up and gets down to the 20-yard line as the wind is picked up here and blown our sheets all over the place here. But so the ball will be spotted on the 20-yard line. It'll be a gain of about 4. 6 to go for a first down as Bear River's on the move down to the 20-yard line.
The later we get in this game, the higher the likelihood that it's just going to come down to one person pulling through.
There's a handoff to Turner, left side. He spins, makes a couple of moves. There's a penalty flag. I don't know if it's looks like. Yeah, I thought that was. I saw the look on Shane Flores' face and his gesture with that. So that once again, the Bruins kind of stopped themselves on a good drive. Ball will move all the way back out to the 34-yard line of the Mustangs, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Solomon and Cundy come in. More than likely, this will be some sort of a pass. The middle's been open. High snap, looking. Joba's looking for receiver. He throws it down, and he's got it, and it's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bruins. Let's see if they're going to give it to him. It's going to be on maybe the 1-yard line or what. Let's see. They're going to spot the ball on the 1. A great catch in there.
I'd say Joba just redeemed himself.
Yeah, right. That was a nice pass. I didn't see who caught that. Was it Cundy or was it Branch?
Pylon went down. Hard to. Can't believe the.
Who did he say it was? I didn't hear. 1st and goal, Bruins. Sorry, I missed the call on that. I couldn't see the number. So it's 1st and goal.
This could pretty much.
Oh, they went to Stephen Taylor. So here's the handoff, trying to cut it up, and he does it. Walks into the end zone. That is a touchdown, Bruins. That is Josh Zimmer. I believe that's his first touchdown of the season. And the Bruins capitalize even after a holding call, moved the ball down the field on a great pass. The first pass completion tonight by Joba, and now they're going to see if they're going to go for 2 or they're going to go for 1 here. Okay, you got Shane Flores in there to kick. It's really funny how he got the kicking assignment, as he was really accurate kicking earlier. He's never kicked before. Good snap, put down, kicked, and it looks good from here. Shane Flores with the extra point. 14-6 now with 4:45 left to go in the third quarter, and with timeout on the field. Once again, we'll remind you you're watching exclusive coverage of Bear River Bruin football on the 20th anniversary season of the NorCal Game of the Week at touchdownproductions.com.
With nearly 30 years of proudly serving our community, Auburn Toyota is expanding to offer more new Toyota inventory than ever before. Chances are we have the exact Toyota model you want, ready for you to drive home today. With many years of combined sales experience and hundreds of new Toyota cars, trucks, 4x4s, and SUVs, now is the perfect time to buy at Auburn Toyota. For generations, Foothill Toyota buyers buy from Auburn Toyota, which is why we like to say Auburn Toyota is the place where the customers come back.
We're back here at J David Ramsey Stadium. Marty Mortensen, Austin Rounsaville, and Gil Dominguez bringing you all this exciting action as Bear River comes out on top with a touchdown here and an extra point. 4:45 left to go in this third quarter, capitalizing on a couple of miscues by the Mustangs, and Landon Clark will be kicking off, and it's going to be a short kick. It's going to be taken on the 20-yard line, and that looked like, was that number 34 for the?
That was
I couldn't.
B.J. Arbrazes.
Well, he took it short, took it all the way up to the 33-yard line, and they're ready to go, 1st and 10. Robertson comes out onto the field behind his center. Two backs in the backfield, and let's see what the Mustangs have. Handoff, sweep on the right side. Covering it up over there are the Bruins. They stop it for no gain or maybe a possible loss. That was Shane Flores once again in on that tackle. Shane has played a whale of a ball game tonight, come in and kicked 2 extra points where the Bruins have been, that's been a real Achilles heel for him the last couple of games, unable to convert on the extra points. But Shane Flores looks like he's found himself a job.
Yeah, those extra points will kill you. They're just like free throws in basketball.
Exactly.
You have to make
There's
it
a fumble,
they're gonna kill
and
you.
going down and being sacked down there again, Ryan Tantum, and brings them down along with Shane Flores as they congratulate each other. Also in on the play was Jimmy Kelly. So Bear River defense is stiffening up here and making a big stand.
Yeah, Marty, I think the question is no longer which offense will pull away with this game, but it's really can the Bear River defense hold it out for the remainder of this game. It's only the third quarter, but given the pace of this game, I don't see too many more scores in this game.
No, this brings up 3rd down and 11, looking to pass. He's rolling out, looking. Nobody handed it off, and it's a fumble. Let's see if they give it to the Bruins. And I think they do. One in there on that stop was once again Ryan Tantum, and along with Landon Clark again, as the Bruins take over in good field position on the Mustangs 30-yard line. So this could be a real backbreaker here for the Mustangs. They fumbled the ball. That's about their 4th fumble of the night.
Yeah, that's just incredible.
Yeah. And going back to pass, and he's got a man wide open into double coverage, and they fight over it, and the Mustangs are not able to make that interception. Boy, that was thrown into double coverage. Meseed was the junior was in there, had his hands on it, but just couldn't bring it down. He had Luke Baggett, but then it turned into double coverage, and Luke couldn't catch that ball. So that's 2nd down and 10 now.
Mustangs, if they want to get back in this game, they can't give up easy interceptions like that.
Yeah, there's a handoff once again. That is Turner again. He's been the workhorse here tonight. Look at his uniform. I mean, he is just one muddy mess.
I'll stress again that the quarterback Zoiva pretty much gifted him an interception, but it was just dropped.
So Joba now. No, we got in at quarterback now is Carippo for the. It was a bad snap, but Carippo falls on it, and Bear River gets it. The ball didn't even get back to him. Carpenter is the center, and he just threw a slipper in there, and now it'll bring up 4th down and about 8 yards to go for a first down. Let's see what Bear River has in store here.
Yeah, this game has been the opposite of high and flying, and it's been more like a meat grinder.
So Carippo comes in. There's a good snap that time. Now he's rolling out to it. Looking downfield, and he throws it, and going up for it, and caught! A touchdown, Bruins! That was number 22, Stephen Taylor, going in with a catch on that. He outfought the defender. Wow, that is a big catch. Stephen Taylor, he was our player of the game a couple of weeks ago, and he's a really nice young man. And he just caught a beautiful pass as he outfought that pass for a good throw from Carippo as he rolled out to his left and threw it. Shane Flores is back in the ball game. Good snap put down, and that's kicked. And that looks good again. Shane Flores impressing me tonight with his kicking prowess. It's like somebody, a walk-on in college. Or in the pro football, it comes in there and starts kicking the ball. With timeout on the field, Bear River goes up by a score of, should be 21-6 with 1:38 left to go in this third quarter. And I'd like to remind you, watching exclusive coverage of the Bear River Bruins football on the 20th anniversary season of the North Cal Game of the Week at touchdownproductions.com.
The Dive is the newest family-friendly restaurant in Lake of the Pines. Their entire menu of burgers, salads, and sandwiches are available for dining in or to take home. Featuring a selection of beer and wines, they also offer catering services for your next event with their new food truck, Dive on the Go. It's The Dive in Lake of the Pines on Comby Road and dineatthedive.com.
And we're back for the kickoff. Landon Clark will set the ball down on the tee. And my golfing buddy is telling the scorekeeper that this should be 21, and he makes the correct score. Mr. Cunningham watching his son play here tonight. There's the kick to the sideline, and it's going to be picked up by a big line. Whoa, my goodness. Wow. Who hit him?
An audible O from the crowd.
Oh, no, that was even from me. That was, that's 8. I can't tell the number here. That was 10.
Regardless.
That was Cunningham on that stop. Wow. Just as I mentioned, his dad got the score corrected. He comes in and just runs into that big lineman that had to outweigh him by 60 pounds, I would think, at full speed.
Number one, what is a lineman doing out back there to receive the kick? Yeah. Number two, what kind of bravado do you need to try and stop a guy like that?
Yeah, there's a quick pass out in the flat, and it's caught, but it's incomplete for no gain. So Scott Cunningham is being checked out on the sideline as both coaches are over there with the trainer to see if he's got any kind of because that was a hard hit. I mean, boy, he just lowered his shoulder and went right at him.
I remember
Great tackle.
A homecoming game a couple years ago where this other guy hit the other guy so hard he broke his collarbone.
Oh, my goodness. Now Robertson now gets the inside handoff, and there's some running room, and he spins around, but then being brought down by Carpenter. And also
Omar Johnson, short gainer. Will bring a third down and long.
and also Clark. That'll bring up third down and long here as we about ready to come to the end of this third quarter.
Well, I wish I could see that great catch by Stephen Taylor one more time.
All right, here come the Mustangs, 3 backs in the backfield, and they're going to be rolled out, and then they're going to be sacked. He throws the ball away, but that's got to be
nothing.
Oh, there was nobody in the area, but he was being brought down on a great tackle in there.
Threw it down in the backfield.
That was heads up by the quarterback Robertson, but he was that looked like intentional grounding to me.
The only guys that even had a chance at that were all linemen, were all illegal receivers.
So that'll bring up fourth down and about 8 to go for a first down, and they'll send in the punting team. Let's see if the Bruins, who have blocked several kicks this year, can get in there. Back to receive the kickoff is Calder Cundy.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was a defensive touchdown before the end of this game.
And they're almost blocked in there. Good. So there is Cundy picks the ball up, gets by a couple of guys, still going. He's going to bring the ball into Mustang territory about 46 yards. So Cundy brings it out for 9 yards. They'll take over. Scott Cunningham, the father of Jeremy Cunningham, is heading down to the sidelines to check out the doctor report. So here come the Bruins. Carippo is still in at quarterback. Good snap, looking to pass. Oh, he's got Solomon downfield, and it's going to be knocked down. He threw it into double coverage, but had he thrown it a little bit earlier, he may have gotten him. That was intended for Branch. It's hard to get any air under that ball when it's all wet and heavy. Now coming back into the ball game is Bradley Joba.
Yeah, you still got to admire the quarterback for even trying a throw like that.
Yep. Carippo's just a junior, 6 foot, 165 pounds.
Brave if it works, kind of stupid if it doesn't work.
Yeah, right. So here's the handoff to Carpenter again around the right side, and he's going to lower his head and pick up some yardage. That should
Mustang
bring
down.
Oh, we got a player on the field with timeout on the field with 13 seconds left to go here in this third quarter. We'd like to remind you that you're watching exclusive coverage of the Bear River Bruins football on the 20th anniversary season of the NorCal Game of the Week at touchdownproductions.com.
Hey, hon, remember the guys are coming over later to watch the game.
Make a play for winning trays from Portisubs. We have the perfect tray for every game and every fan.
Make Portisubs your destination.
Welcome back after the player, that's Robert Mello, is taken off the field and with a cramp, it looked like. Nothing serious. And with 13 seconds left to go here in this third quarter, Bear River will probably run one more play. Well, maybe not if the referee starts the clock. They might be able to get it, but I think they're going to wait it out, it looks like. So as the clock continues to run down here with 2 seconds, there's the horn to start the fourth quarter as Bear River is up on top, 21 to 6. And we've got to come up, Austin, with a player of the game. We've got the Bill Slate and Sons Player of the Game award that we'll be giving to the player at the end of the game. And it's been a defensive struggle. It's on the offensive side. We've got Peyton Turner's been running the ball, has been picking up big yardage. He's the senior, 5'11", 160. We've got Landon Clark, who has played a whale of a defensive ball game, and Shane Flores is not only is he kicking extra points for the first time this year, he's also in on a lot of tackles out there on defense. So we'll have to decide, and I'll let you make some input on that to see what you think as the fourth quarter is about ready to start. So we'll figure out someplace along the way here with the Bill Slayton Sons Player of the Game Award to a Bear River Bruin player after the ball game. So here come the Bruins. In motion is Turner. There's a handoff once again, trying to cut it up. He gets some blocking. He's still on his feet. He's got some blockers. There's a good block. He cuts inside. He's on his way. He's down to the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Bruins! Peyton Turner, the young 5'11", 160 senior, took advantage of his blockers and just took that ball into the end zone. What a run on a great cutback. Peyton Turner. Well, that kind of solidified it for me there. Yeah, he was one of our candidates, and he definitely ran that on his own, but he had 3 blockers out in front of him. So on the first play to start the fourth quarter, all that was a big run for about 45 yards. So here's the snap put down, and that was a bad snap. Couldn't hold.
Absolutely.
So Shane Flores is 3 for 4, but I don't think that was his fault. So we've got timeout on the field with 11:46 left to go in this ball game. Bear River up now 27-6, and we'll remind you that you're watching exclusive coverage of Bear River Bruin football on the 20th anniversary season of the NorCal Game of the Week at TouchdownProductions.com.
The Northridge Restaurant in Nevada City is your closest Northridge to Grass Valley. At 737 Nevada Street, the Northridge in Nevada City is a comfortable family restaurant you'll be happy to go to or take out.
With 3 locations to serve you in Nevada City, Lake of the Pines, and Penn Valley, you are just a few minutes away from a Northridge restaurant. Online at northridgerestaurant.com.
Welcome back to the fourth quarter, and we've got Bear River up on top 27-6, and Landon Clark about ready to kick off after that magnificent run by Peyton Turner. And there's the kick. It's taken by a short back, and he's got some running room, and he's going to bring the ball up to the 35-yard line, it looks like, of the Mustangs, and they'll take over 1st and 10 on their own 35.
Forget everything I said earlier about this being a
defensive game. All of a sudden, the Bear River has turned it into a very offensive.
I think that run by Peyton Turner was obviously play of the game.
No kidding.
That was very Reggie Bush-esque.
Took advantage of his blocking. Here's an inside handoff, and boy, the front 4 for the Bruins just shut that down. Got some new clean jerseys in the game. Jake Leonard, I just see, is in. Coming in now, number 30 for the Bruins is Bosworth. Cundy's coming out. Ariza is in the ball game in the secondary, and there's a bad snap, and looks like Robertson fell on it. Loss of 4, so that'll bring up 3rd down as Bear River shuffling in some fresh uniform. One thing about this, we can see the numbers when they bring in some new players.
That's fortunate.
Yep. Zimmer just came into the ball game. He's had a good night tonight on carrying the ball.
Yep.
So now it's 3rd down and about 13, and there's another bad snap.
Bear River ball. Unless it's a...
It was a fumble, and the Bruins come up with it. Wow. Let's see who they congratulate there.
I lost count how many fumbles.
That looked like Jimmy Kelly with the ball. He was getting the high fives. So the Bruins now on a fumble recovery will take over on the Mustangs' 35-yard line. So it looks like Mustangs on their very first series pick up their 6 points and nothing since. There's a high snap and a handoff coming around the left side and cutting it back with some running room. That is Stephen Taylor, the ball carrier. He picks up 6 yards. Into the ball game for the Bruins, we got Rydell. Number 55 is in. Joba comes in with the play. Branch comes out. Oh, he was in. They're going to throw a flag on that. He was in the huddle, and then he comes out. Well, maybe they didn't see it. There's a handoff. That is to Turner around the right side. Still on his feet. He's going to get the first down. Got some good blocks in there by the right side of the line.
7 yards for Turner. First down Bruins.
So coming into the ball game to do the quarterbacking duties is Clay Carippo, the junior. In the backfield, we've got, looks like Cunningham's back in there, and there's a handoff to him. And he carries 3 or 4 tacklers down for about 3 yards, it looks like.
Looks like he's all right.
Yeah, he passed the concussion test, and he's out there carrying the ball. So that was Cunningham, the ball carrier. And that was a flag. That's going to nullify that run. That'll bring it back to be first down and about 20 now for the Bruins. Carippo still in there at quarterback. Cunningham to his left. There's a handoff to Zimmer, trying to find a place to go. Can't go. And coming up and making that stop, that looks like number 44 again. Pestafia. Thank you, Brian Hudson, for that call. Looking at that name, it's hard to get Pestafia out of that, but I'll go with Brian Hudson.
That's just
the field announcer.
That's the sloppiest part of the field right there. Not a blade of grass to be found.
So Joba comes back into the ball game. Oh, maybe that looks like Gillis at quarterback, and he throws a quick pass on a screen and it gets knocked down.
That could have been anything. That could have been
exactly.
Deflection, could have been a fumble, could have been the old tuck roll, could have been anything.
So Gillis was in there and couldn't get that pass off.
Third down and long for the Bruins.
Third and long. So all the quarterbacks on the roster are getting some action time here tonight. So he's got the play. Gillis comes in with it from the sidelines from Jeff Baggett, the coach who calls the plays. So we got wide receivers out, one back in the backfield. There's a good. Oh, he fumbled the ball and he's going to fall on it. So that'll bring up fourth down.
And that'll bring up fourth down.
You can just see it on them. They're just drenched.
Yeah. And let's see if they're going to, I don't know if they want to kick the ball or not. It's going to be fourth down, and maybe they'll try to kick it angle for the sideline. Yeah, Clark is coming in. They'll try to kick one to the sideline. He had a 4-yard kick earlier, so he needs to have something a little bit better than that on this one over in the corner.
They're feeling a little bold. They might want to test his range with a field goal. They don't have
not on this field, though. That's the problem.
They don't have that much to lose at this point.
That's a long field goal. He's about his list about 35. No pass rush. No punt rush. And they're going to kick it to the sideline, and it's going to come down and stop on about the 10-yard line. With it, the Mustangs will take over first and 10.
It's going to be down near the 10-yard line. It'll be first and 10 Foothill.
So Becker comes into the game for the Bruins on defense.
Down the way, Colfax this year, followed by Placer the week after. Colfax game, and next week it'll be at 5:15 And a 7:30 start, JV and varsity respected. So make sure you got plans next Friday.
In the game now is Austin Echternot is in the ball game on defense. And let's see, that was a handoff to the first man through and maybe got a couple of yards at most. I can't see his number. They are just gone with this mud on a white uniform with the orange letters.
A little clearer on the monitor here.
Yep. Even the binoculars can't pick it up. So handoff, trying to do a sweep, cuts it inside, but no place to go. Coming up and making the stop there is Hayden Becker on the stop. Good tackle.
There was potential for a play there. Maybe on a drier day, he could have been able to make that
cut,
cut inside.
Yeah.
But yet another slip.
So that'll bring up third down and about 8. What crowd is left here is calling for the defense to hold them. So Robertson over center. One back in the backfield on a rolling. They're going to try that pass play again, but it looks like now. And that Luke Baggett had that one all diagnosed that time, and he was right there for almost the interception. He's trying to say he was pushed as the cool breeze begins to pick up here as the clock starts to wind down with 6:04 left in this ball game. It's been all Bear River in this second half. So now they'll have to kick from his own end zone, and that will be number 32, and he gets a kick away.
It was a good kick.
It was.
All the way out to midfield.
Skateris. And
He's got room.
got room to run. He's still on his feet, still going, got a good block, comes all the way on down. I couldn't see who that was, darn it. Lost his number.
Spot the ball at the 27, first down and 10 Bruins.
So Bruins get good field position one more time. They can probably run this clock out if they can hold the ball for a couple of first downs.
Yeah, not quite as close.
Carippo now pitches back and running with the ball and then out of bounds or close to it. That was Zimmer, the ball carrier.
To the 25.
Yeah, not quite as close as we had originally predicted the first half.
That was 7-6 at the half, and Bear River they've just stepped up ever since they took that kickoff to start the second half. They have been plowing ahead, mainly on the ground with a couple of big pass plays.
Must have been something the coach said.
Yeah, may have been talked. Another fumble again. That was Carippo couldn't handle it, and he gets thrown for a big loss.
At this point, they just got to keep on to the
just hold on to the ball and just run some time off the clock as the clock continues to run, counting down at 4:50. They're trying to get a play in here as the clock continues to run. Carippo comes out with the play. See if he can handle the snap here now. Got it now, but they had delay a game. They took a long time to bring that play in, so that'll cost them another 5 yards.
Mustang defense was moving in, looked like they were going to try and blitz there.
So they'll move it back 5 yards, and it'll bring up third down and about 20.
Clock still running.
They are early in the
Clark comes into the ball game here.
quarter, and Placer has just kicked the field goal to go up 16-15 on center. 16-15 Placer.
So here is going back to pass, looking, throws it, and he's going to throw it. Oh, and the defender was right there, and it went right through his hands. That was intended for Branch. That'll bring up 4th down, and almost an interception there by the Mustangs.
Maybe, just maybe, if the Mustangs defense had pulled down a couple of those interception chances, this game might have turned out differently.
So Clark goes back to on his own on the 50-yard line, and good high snap, and he kicks it for the sideline. Let's see. No, it's going to go if they can down it, and right there to down that ball. Nice kick by Landon Clark, and inside the 5, and on that ball.
Inside the 3.
Oh, 3-yard line. That was Nathan Oriza. He downs that ball.
We got to look out for a safety here, possibly.
Clock continues to run with 3:41 left to go. This is foregone conclusion here. So let's see what the Mustangs try to put in their playbook here. Rolling out, there's a good hole opened up right there, and they're coming up with the stop. That is Ariza. And short for about 5-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 5. Baggett comes off the field. Ariza comes off. Bosworth in the ball game here. Also Brody. And there is a handoff that goes nowhere as the Bruins cover that. So that'll bring up 3rd down and about 7. Flores in on that stop.
Number 7, Omar Johnson, looks to be limping a little bit.
3rd down and long.
So Robertson over center, and there's a handoff. Big hole, and coming up and making the stop in there was Flores, and also Becker on the stop. They got a 1st down on that, so they continue to drive with 2:34 left. And there's a handoff, the left side, big hole. He's got some speed, and then coming up and making the stop. That looked like that is Zimmer on the safety.
That's just a lack of discipline and very unlike what we've seen from the Bear River defense this whole game. You can't phone it in now.
No, you got.
There's only 2 minutes left.
So there's a quick handoff around the left side. That is to Anthony James. He picks up a couple. In on the stop in there was Lavelle. Looked like 58. It's hard to tell this late in the game. But no, let's see. Lavelle is on the sideline, so that was 56. Hayden Becker. And there's a hole, but then Bear River comes in and covers it. Pratt in on helping with that stop. Garrett Pratt, the young sophomore, 6'2", 204 pounds. He'll be a mainstay in the Bruin lineup for the next few years.
As we approach the 1-minute mark.
I played golf with Pratt's grandfather.
Something smells good.
Bill Belding. Yeah, the wind has shifted, and the hamburgers smell is coming right up our way. So there's maybe a delayed game with 1 minute left to go as a timeout on the field here. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 7.
Infraction is on Foothill.
So Foothill left a little early on that. And at this point in time, Bill Slade and Sons player of the game, I think with that big 4th quarter performance by and throughout the whole game, Peyton Turner, what do you think? Would you go along with that, Austin? That Peyton Turner was our player of the game. That's who I'm voting for.
I would. You know, I really do wish we could give it to the entire Bear River defense, but, you know, Peyton Turner really set himself apart from everyone else in that fourth quarter, especially with that big, huge 40-plus yard run. Make a couple moves there. That was very impressive.
Well, the clock continues to run down. It looks like one of the players left early, but he's going to throw a pass, and it's going to be intercepted right in and that is Zimmer.
Easiest interception in the world.
Yeah, right. He's still on his feet. No, and he gets hammered. And there's flags down. Let's see.
I could have made that interception.
That ball was thrown short.
It was a cupcake.
Yeah. So Bear River can just about run the clock out now with the ball, as 56 has had a tough game tonight. That's Mello. He's not very mellow right now because he's holding on to his arm as he's going off the field, and he's limping and walking very slowly. So
he's a trooper, though.
So Bear River will be penalized for an illegal block and illegal use of the hand, so that'll bring it back to about the 39-yard line of the Bruins, and they'll have it with 37 seconds left to go in the game. They'll probably take a knee,
one or two
and
more
we'll
knees.
call it a game. And that's exactly what Carippo does. Is he takes the knee, and that should just about do it as the players begin to shake hands out there as the Bear River comes out on top here. As the clock continues to run down, 27-6. And final score here as the Bruins come out on top with a big fourth quarter push, and our player of the game tonight is Peyton Turner. And it was a very slow game at the start, 7-6 at halftime, but the Bruins come out in with a big second half. The clock runs out, 27-6, your final score. And we'll go down onto the field with the presentation of the player of the game, Bill Slayton's Sons Player of the Game Award, to Peyton Turner. Yeah, Marty Mortensen here with our player of the game. Our Bill Slayton's Sons Player of the Game Award goes tonight to Peyton Turner, number 1. If you can see his number on his jersey here, it's pretty hard. It was hard to spot him out there tonight, but he was the workhorse tonight with all those carries that you had, Peyton, and especially that one run that you did where you had 3 blockers in front of you and you cut in and out and ran down the sideline and then cut it to the middle. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that play?
It was meant to go through the 7-hole, and there's nothing there. And so I just took it and bounced it to the outside, and I ran as fast as I could, and my legs were tired. And, you know, I had great lead blockers in front of me, and I just saw this opening to my right, and I just put my foot into the ground and just cut it up. And tried to run as hard as I could.
Yeah, that was quite a run, and you'll see it on the replay when we have it for that touchdown run. But I was really amazed at the way you followed your blockers, and you were able to make that cut. And I think that divot is still sitting out there on that sideline. Yeah. So I want to present you with this player of the game. This is Bill Slayton's Sons Player of the Game Award.
This is awesome.
And congratulations again. And
Thank you so much.
you played a whale of a ball game tonight. So did your team.
My team played awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
So with that, thank you very much. I know you want to get in with your team and get to see the coach. Yeah, well, you're a mess out here tonight. Boy, that was kind of sloppy, huh?
Yeah, it was.
All right, Peyton. Thank you very much.
Thank
Peyton
you so
Turner,
much.
number 1, who is our Player of the Game Award tonight. Big winner. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Well, it was an exciting game out here tonight, and our Player of the Game Award went to Peyton Turner, and that just about kind of wraps it up here tonight. And don't forget to join us next week as the Bear River will go for another must-win game over to Colfax. And we'll be bringing you that game and all that exciting action. And hopefully the juniors stepped up, some of the juniors stepped up tonight. And we'll maybe be able to get Bays and Colton Wood and also Bryn Tyler back in action for next week's game. So we'll see you next week on your TouchdownProductions.com NorCal Game of the Week. Good night, everybody.